What's up, people? It's your girl Adeola. So last week I talked about two alleged sponsors of Boko Haram. That's the former governor of Borno State, Alimadu Sheriff, and the chief of army staff, General Azubike Ihejirika. And that's according to the Australian peace negotiator, that's Stephen Davies. Well, this week a Nigerian news website, Premium Times, released a story that they have evidence that links not only the ex-governor but also the president of Chad with Boko Haram. I was like, what? Apparently, the Nigerian army has known this since 2011, but they've done nothing because of the caliber of people that are involved. Now, a memo written by intelligence officers in Jamena, that's the capital of Chad, that memo stated that some members of Boko Haram are actually being trained in Chad. That is in a place called Abeche. That's the fourth largest city in Chad. And they always wait for Mr. Sheriff to come and inspect them before they would take those ones to Nigeria. Also, you guys know that Mr. Sheriff is a very close friend of the president of Chad, that is Idris Deby. You guys know that they are like neighbors, so he has to know the president. They have evidence that whenever he goes to Chad, he will stay at the president's guest house in Abeche, and of course the president would provide him with security. I mean, they are neighbors, so I can't really read much into that, except that the president of Chad has a reputation for being extremely corrupt. You know, he took over power in 1990 in a coup d'etat, so he's been president for 24 years now, and he likes to arrest journalists or bloggers and activists, and he would detain them without any charges. Even prominent opposition figures in Chad are not exempted. If anybody says something that Mr. President doesn't like, that's it. The person would be arrested, harassed, and intimidated, as well as humiliated. Which is why human rights organizations like Amnesty International, Freedom House have repeatedly rated Chad as one of the countries with the least freedom. In fact, some safety and security index has rated Chad as worse than Afghanistan. So the president is a dictator, but to the Western world, he is seen as a partner in peacekeeping operations because he has helped the French to overcome the Islamist insurgents in Mali. So I'm not surprised that no Nigerian president has visited Chad since this man became president, except President Goodluck Jonathan. So this man rigs every election in Chad in order to remain in power. In fact, he got rid of term limits completely, and according to this report by Premium Times, during the last presidential election that he rigged in 2011, our man Alimadu Sheriff provided the Chadian president with 35 vehicles for security and lots of money. Allegedly though, he also used Boko Haram in the places where some of his soldiers have refused to cooperate, because you know some of his soldiers are also getting tired of him. Now the big question is, if Alimadu Sheriff is sponsoring Boko Haram, why is he doing it? Well, according to this report, some intelligence officials were recorded saying that he's sponsoring Boko Haram in order to protect himself. I personally found a document on WikiLeaks that in 2011, Boko Haram listed Alimadu Sheriff among the people that they wanted. They accused him then of being part of how their first leader, that is Muhammadu Yusuf, how their first leader was killed. By the way, you guys can find a lot of things on WikiLeaks, you know, if you just type in keywords, you know, like Alimadu Sheriff or Boko Haram. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, you can do your own research. This report also suggests that Alimadu Sheriff is sponsoring Boko Haram in order to cover up financial irregularities that he committed when he was the governor of Borno State. And also, he's doing it to make sure that he continues to remain powerful, even if he's no longer in office. Now, since this report came out, Mr. Sheriff has refused to comment. He has refused to say whether it's true or not. And I think he needs to say something. We need to know. Even the Nigerian Defense Headquarters and the Nigerian government also declined to comment on this issue. But I'm saying that why can't the court investigate and declare these people either guilty or not guilty? Let the court do its job now. And now what has been pissing people off is this picture of Nigerian president sitting with the president of Chad and Alimadu Sheriff. Can you imagine? While the man is being investigated. We all know that Alimadu Sheriff is a friend of the president, but you don't have to throw it in our face like that. To be fair though, the presidency released a statement that Mr. President is not trying to protect Alimadu Sheriff, that Sheriff was already in Chad, that he didn't travel with the president, and that he came to welcome the president at the airport. So they are saying that these pictures were taken at the airport, including this one. They said that it's the presidential wing of the airport. I said, but you should know now. You should know that this will make people question the integrity of the president. president. So as soon as the president saw Sheriff coming, you know, shake his hand from afar like the Ebola handshake. It's good to see you. You can just stay where you are. We can talk later. Don't get too close. Touch not my anointed. Touch not my anointed. Mr. Kola, can you please usher Mr. Sheriff into the reception area? Yes, I will join you guys later. Just, you know, yes. I'm not saying that he should defriend the guy. We all know that they are like buddy. But right now, you don't have to associate yourself with him where everybody will see him, because people will start talking. They will start talking. There's nothing I've talked about today, by the way, that Mr. President doesn't know. I'm not saying that Jonathan has anything to do with Boko Haram. I beg you, don't quote me. I'm just saying that he's a very close friend of Alimadu Sharif, and he needs him in order to win the coming election. Sure, you get it? Yes, thank you. And speaking of election, by the way, have you guys seen that poster? Bring back good luck Jonathan 2050. So insensitive to the suffering of the Chibok girls and their family members. It's been 150 days. We've not been able to rescue these guys. And then, you know, I actually don't blame Mr. President on this. No. Not that he won't see it, but even if he sees this, I doubt that he understands the implication, which is a shame on its own. It's very good, though, that the president has ordered that the signs be removed. I give him kudos for that. But he didn't have to say that he had nothing to do with it. Haba. See, we already know that you have no clue about what's going on, sir. But you don't have to let the whole world know. How can you say that you don't know your own campaign slogan? Haba, you are making it hard for me to do my job now. I'm personally offended, though, because Nigerians have been condemning this slogan for weeks. You know, since Dr. Okupe started tweeting, "Bring back Jonathan." That was before they put up the signs. We've been condemning it. Nothing happened. But as soon as an American newspaper, Washington Post, wrote an article that this is inappropriate, suddenly Mr. President issued a statement that, I don't know about it, to take it down. I'm like, seriously? So you only hear when outsiders are talking? The rest of us, we are nobody. Why now? Don't get me upset, so Daddy. But you know, what pains me is that if this Australian man had mentioned people that are not influential or people in the opposition party, by now the federal government would be on their neck. Remember, there was a time they told us that the opposition party is the one behind Boko Haram.
Because it's 90% of all the insurgency is in states controlled by that political party. 90% of those campaigning to bring that are also members of that party. Has the media ever analyzed it?
So if that man had named someone in the opposition party, by now the federal government will be on their neck. Why now? Is it because these people are in PDP and you are taking the issue lightly? Seriously, at this crucial time in Nigeria, when election is approaching, if this is the best that the Nigerian government can offer us, now that's a shame. I think this is the time for the present administration to prove that they are not corrupt and to prove that they have the best interest of the people in mind. And they want us to vote for them again in 2015. Isn't this the time you should make people happy? Do things that people will be like, I have to vote for this person. By the way, did you guys hear about what happened to Malam Nuhu Ribadu? Yes, so after he switched from APC to PDP in hopes of becoming the next governor of Adamawa State. Guy, you know, I actually pity the man. I pity him. I don't think that he calculated well. They stopped the man from contesting for the governorship election. I pity the man. You know, some people are saying that, he will run in 2015. But, I mean, who are we kidding? Whoever is elected now to finish the tenure of the governor that was impeached, that person will also want to run in 2015. You don't think so? And we all know that it's very hard to defeat a sitting governor. Yes, I mean, but no be me talk am. Waiting be my own. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Liberia, it's so sad that Ebola continues to claim lives in Liberia than in any other African country. In fact, doctors are now turning people away because they just don't have the facility, they don't have enough equipment, and they don't have enough doctors. You know, the sad thing is that at first, a lot of people did not believe that Ebola is real. They had to spend time convincing people.
Ebola, don't touch your friend.
Do you guys ever worry about Ebola? Do you think that's real?
No.
The government said nobody should eat bush meat. If Ebola was here, a lot of people would be dead.
Ebola, no Ebola in Nigeria.
That video is a couple of months old now. They had to spend a huge amount of time convincing people that this thing is real. So by now, I believe that everybody knows that the thing is real. But you know, one thing that worries me is that a lot of Liberians are writing me that there is no public record of all the money that is being donated to Liberia to fight Ebola. But what is going on now? When will you put out a public record of all the money that is being donated and how the money is being spent? You have to do this so that people won't start talking. I know it takes time, but really, so many individuals, the international community, government bodies, and non-government organizations have donated millions of dollars for Liberia alone. And I think that it would be good that they have a public record so that people won't start talking. For example, they are saying that many Ebola patients are starving. They said they are starving. Oh, I saw the video of this man who escaped to go and steal food because he was starving. Poor guy. See what I mean? You know, I saw a video of their president visiting West Point, one of the places that is really affected by Ebola. And a lot of people were playing drums and celebrating that she came. In fact, some people had posters that now that she's here, that they've defeated Ebola. And I'm thinking, people are dying. People, what kind of protocol are we still observing? Putting up a ceremony when people are dying. To be candid, I think that our main contributor to the spread of this virus is the failure of the government to take care of basic amenities in the first place. You know, if everyone has electricity in Liberia, which they don't, you know that they'll be able to talk to people on TV about the reality of Ebola and how to prevent it, instead of having to go from house to house to tell people that, hey, look here, my friend, this thing is real. Many people had already contracted the virus now. Also, I can't imagine the ambulance that are taking people to the hospital on some of these roads. Abba, really? For this not to happen again in Liberia and in all other countries as well, we have to take some drastic steps and put some structures in place. First of all, basic amenities. It's time. I know that the war did a huge damage, but it's time to rebuild Liberia. We need to rebuild the roads and provide electricity for everybody, not just for some people in the city, and water. Please, it's time to do that. I'm hoping that the Liberian government will put this into factor. Don't just visit people to know if they got food as one of the relief efforts for Ebola. No, we need to think beyond Ebola right now, because when Ebola is over, we have to make sure it doesn't come back. The schools have to be rebuilt so that everybody, whether rich or poor, would have access to good and quality education, because I believe that this thing is spreading also due to lack of education. We need to rebuild our schools. But what do I know? You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Hey, I beg, give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute, I beg. Hey, now. I thought my eyes were deceiving me. Haba. Hey, whoa. The first lady of Zimbabwe has come again, no. She has come again, no. Hey, Gucci Grace. I mean, disgrace, like some people call her. Not like disgrace, but like this. Never mind. You know what I mean. Yes. Sometimes you just open your mouth. You just throw a bombshell bagger like that. This thing is very dangerous. It's dangerous, eh? Just imagine saying that her husband, Robert Mugabe, is the poorest president in the whole world. Oh, Lord. You know that not long ago, the husband also announced to the world that, this year, that he's only getting paid $4,000. That he has cut down, as if people should pity him, like, hey, yeah, Mugabe is only getting $4,000 in a month, Kai. And I cannot believe that you guys refuse to pity the man. It is your fault, my people, because you did not pity the guy. See, now the woman also came out to announce that her husband is the poorest president in the whole world. Let me hear your, hey, yeah, God forgive you. See, this is what I say. You guys are too bold. Haba. But you know, I can't help but wonder exactly what does this woman drink before giving a speech, because it's starting to look like somebody has diarrhea of the mouth. Haba, it's becoming really irritating now. Wasn't it in August that she threatened the deputy justice minister, that is Fortune Chassis, in front of everybody? I might have a small fist, but when it comes to fighting, I will put stone inside my fist to enlarge it. I can even put on gloves to make it bigger. So my friend, do not doubt my capabilities. Right in front of everybody, I'm telling you. Let's take a look at other things that she said. I am a village girl. Actually, nobody is arguing about that. We know that already. But I am the queen of this country. I came from you. And when I was chosen by Mugabe, I said, God has lifted me up. And I want to use my position to lift others. She said that? Okay. I did not choose to be here. It was God's choice. Point of correction. I actually disagree with that. I mean, wasn't she married to another man when she started doing it with Mugabe? She was still married to another man, right? I mean, no baby talk. You know I don't gossip. My life is not about showing off. I am a humble person. Oh, Lord have mercy. You know, God is so patient. God is so patient with a lot of people, especially when they do what they want to do and then they bring God into the equation. Now it is God that chose you, eh? Now, in case anyone doesn't know, Mugabe and his wife own one of the largest integrated dairy enterprise in all of Southern Africa, for which they've spent more than $20 million, money taken out of bank, never returned to the bank. Years back, this humble wife was accused of looting a low-cost housing scheme that was meant for civil servants in Zimbabwe. She used the money to build a 3-story mansion in Harare known as Graceland. That house was later sold to the late Gaddafi for $3 million. $3 million. Then she built another mansion in a place called Shifu. How humble. And that is different from their multi-million-dollar private Borodale mansion where the first couple now live. Even though the presidency denied it, there was a time that he bought a $5 million house for the daughter when she went to study in Hong Kong. By the way, the first lady said these things while addressing traditional chiefs who gathered to show their support for her political ambitions. Yes, she's now into politics, you know, trying to take over from the husband whenever he dies. Let's see what she said about that. I never said I wanted to join politics. Excuse me. I never had that in mind, but recently people came and asked me to join. Seriously? When will somebody talk sense into this couple? Really? 34 years under your family is enough. Let other people take over. Now you're making it look as if it is people that are pushing you. You know, there is God though. In anything we are doing, there is God though. But you guys know I don't know anything. Chai! I'm just keeping it real. So I recently got an email from a Ghanaian viewer accusing me of turning blind eyes to a very serious issue, and I must agree with this viewer that the issue of where you wee and where you poo is a very serious issue. Yes, apparently in Ghana, some people like to go and do their business by the beach. Out in the open. What? Listen to what the viewer said. Dear Adeola, people defecate at the shore every morning in Ghana. They call it Unkwano. I didn't know that. This must stop. This must stop. Yes. Oh, wait a minute. I think it has more. This must stop. Even though the fishes are fatter and tastier because they eat human excreta. What? Oh my God! Oh my God! The fishes are fatter and tastier. Them is in trouble. Hey, call it the war. Tell them. Whenever we go to Mama Kweku, what do I always order? Tell them now. The fat and tasty fish, fresh from Accra. Them is in trouble. Adeola, you don't chop something. You don't chop something. I don't chop something. Why didn't you send this email before now, Mr. Viewer? I don't suffer. I have to sue somebody in Ghana. Charlie, why would people go and do it by the beach? All of you that have been doing it by the beach, God go punish you. And it's not as if these people don't have a choice. So, in fact, I heard that not long ago, President Jerry Rawlings went to commission a new public toilet somewhere in the central region. Would you guys believe that after the ceremony, a fisherman was asked how he felt about the new facility, and he said to Mr. President, this toilet that you commissioned, we will not use it. We will not use it. And Mr. President was like, why? The man said, Abba, there is no air or breeze inside a confined area. You want us to be doing it in a confined area, but you know, when we do it by the beach, there's fresh air blowing on our bodies, and you feel good. Can you believe that? And then this same fisherman and his friends, they started chanting during our grandfather's time. Where did we do it? Umpano, which means by the beach. You get what I'm saying? During our father's time, where did we do it? Umpano, until we die. Where will we do it? Umpano. I learned that Mr. President was short of words. He just looked at them and he said, "Kai, even cats, when they do their thing, they cover it up." And some of them got angry. They said that the president is saying that cats are better than them. But how do you convince people like such farmers not to do it in the open by the beach? No wonder now I know why my friend Charlie, why he was so embarrassed when he came back from Ghana last summer. You know, he took a friend from Brooklyn to go and see Ghana on a vacation. And while they were exploring the beach at Cape Coast, you know that it's a huge tourist attraction. So many people visit there because of the slave dungeons. Guess what my friend and his guest stepped into? They stepped right into poo-poo, by the beach, So he didn't like talking about that trip at all. He said he felt so embarrassed, you know, trying to clean up poo-poo with his guests that he's trying to show Ghana. He's not a good rapper for Ghana now, especially because, you know, it is called the gateway to Africa. That is not correct. That is not correct. Please, my Ghanaian people, whatever it would take to clean up the beaches and stop people from excreting there, I'm begging you. And remember all the fat and tasty fish that Adeola Fire have eaten from Mama Kweku. Clean up the beaches, Ojare. Clean up the beaches, yo. I can't believe this. You know, we used to have that problem in Lagos too. Yeah, before Governor Fashola cleaned up the whole place, people were defecating by the beach, which was why I stopped eating okueko. You get what I'm saying? And then I started eating the fat and tasty fish from Accra, only for me to know today. What is that? No, don't tell me that you put up that picture. No. We've been over this several times. You did not just put up that. Call it the war. My dear, I've given you enough warning. Where are you running to? I'm just coming from my karate class today. We just learned how to throw shoes. Come here. Before I read emails today, first of all, I'd like to remember all the people that we lost in the 9/11 terrorist attack here in New York 13 years ago. We will continue to remember these people. May their souls rest in peace. Also, just a quick update. I recently talked again about a woman that has breast cancer in Nigeria, Kuburat Yusuf. And I'm so glad that the very next day after that episode aired, her husband called me that some of you have reached out to him, that you're willing to donate money for her treatment. And I just want to take a minute to thank you, everybody that reached out to this man. Thank you so much for reaching out. My goal is that someday, that when Kuburat is well, that I can interview her and she can get to thank you herself. But to everybody that reached out, to her husband Victor, thank you so much. May God bless you all. And not just that, a few weeks ago I talked about the plight of Nigerian students in Russia and Ukraine that went there on federal government scholarship and that they had not been paid for about 14 months. Their tuition as well as their stipend had not been paid. I'm so glad to report to you guys that few days after that episode aired, one of the students contacted me that the federal government had paid their tuition and their stipend. And I just want to thank the Nigerian government for doing something about that. Thank you so much. I'm not saying that they took an action because it aired on Keeping It Real, but just in case they had of it on Keeping It Real, thank you so much for taking the step and paying their tuition as well as their stipend. Oh, by the way, a number of people wrote me that I lied about Alimadu Sheriff last week. They said I mentioned that he was 28 when he became governor. I did not. I said that he was 28 when he got a contract with Sani Abacha. Then I started another sentence that when he became governor. So those are two different sentences, please. Now these people are saying that according to Wikipedia that he should be in his late 50s. And I said, well, that's not true, because I spoke with people in Borno who knew him then. You probably shouldn't go by Wikipedia on this issue, because this is the same Wikipedia that said he graduated from London School of Business in the 80s, and that school was only established in 2003. Even the school had issued a statement that Alimadu Sheriff did not get a degree from them. I said the man got his degree from University of Maiduguri, so you probably shouldn't go by what Wikipedia said about him. I'm saying Wikipedia, I didn't say WikiLeaks. It's not that Wikipedia is not credible, but but sometimes people write things on Wikipedia that may not be credible. Now, I got a very sad email from a Keeping It Real viewer who says, "Hi Adeola, I like your assistance in raising awareness about the tragic incident that happened to my cousin Samuel Idala Eshun. He was murdered in his home in Abuja on the 28th of August 2014 by 3 armed robbers. He was shot in the presence of his wife, his 8-year-old son, and his 6-year-old son. He was later rushed to the hospital in Abuja but was denied treatment without a police report." Seriously, you need a police report before you can get treated for a gunshot in Abuja, the federal capital? Oh my god, this is sad. This is unbelievable. Are you kidding me? Police report? Please talk about this in your broadcast if you can. May God continue to bless you as you unveil the truth about the lack of safety in Nigeria. Sincerely, Abel Uwanoho. I'm so sorry, my brother, for your loss. Please accept my condolences. But seriously, the issue of safety in Nigeria has to be addressed. For how long would we put it off? We really need to address the fact that you can be driving on the road and armed robbers can stop you. They can take all your money and kill you by the roadside. And the fact that we can't just build houses. We have to build huge fences because armed robbers can just go into your house like they did. Until the issue of safety is addressed in Nigeria, people will continue to die senseless death. So if anybody is watching from the Nigerian government, please make this a priority, please. Anyway, I think that's all the time that I have for emails today. Please keep sending your emails to adeola.keepingitreal@gmail.com. Alright y'all, it's been real and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Until next week, I'ma see y'all later. Peace out.
Welcome to Forstview Luxury Hotel. At Forstview Luxury Hotel, we offer excellent service. Our rooms have all the necessary facilities to make your stay comfortable and memorable. You will also have access to internet service, breakfast, 24-hour power supply, full air condition, free international calls, free tire pumping service, and free car battery charge. So what are you waiting for? Quickly visit Forstview Luxury Hotel. We are located at #1 Adeola Mishile off Raji Rasaki Road, First Estate, Amuwo, Odofin Festac, Lagos. For more information or reservation, please call us on 08075787135 or 08099900601. You can also take advantage of our online ongoing promo at www.forceviewhotel.com to make your reservation and payment for your favorite room, which attracts a discount rate. Please note, rooms are reserved based on first come, first serve. Forstview Luxury Hotel. Experience the home of comfort. They come.